entering the town of Twin Peaks.
There was a fish in the percolator.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
It is happening again.
Take another look, Sonny. It's going to happen again.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
I'm going to turn it upside down.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Sheriff, I'm stuck in the Black Lodge with the good Dale.
Oh.
Write it in your diary.
Fuck. I didn't write it. What's that mean?
Too late now. We live inside a dream.
I can't keep going. Today we are talking about the missing pieces. And we are joined by previous guest from, the episode right before this one. We're being joined by the podcast's Gordon Cole. It's Jason.
Howdy, y'all.
And you probably thought we recorded these back to back. We actually didn't. It's been a week since we recorded. He just came back over.
Yeah.
We made him drive to us again.
We love friendship.
Yeah.
It's so fun. So Jason, we already know.
We know everything about you.
Well, we know a lot about you, yeah, but the audience only knows that you like Twin Peaks and that you are the podcast Gordon Cole. Mm-hmm. So we want to do another icebreaker with you. For returning guests, we like to ask, what would your order at the Double R Diner be? I can't
Close
talk
enough.
today, Jesus.
I think for a midday treat, I would like just a regular cup of black coffee and then perhaps a slice of blueberry pie.
Oh, okay.
Blueberry.
Treat yourself.
I don't like cherries very much. I don't like cherry pie.
I don't love cherry pie either. I always say, when I'm talking about a really, really great episode, I say it's my mom's rhubarb pie.
Yeah.
Which I can make. I have rhubarb in the freezer, everybody. What was I going to say? Oh, what's your breakfast order?
That's tough. At a diner, when I eat out at a diner, I want to eat something that I'm not going to make myself at home. So eggs Benedict.
That's like the opposite of a diner.
Yeah. Well,
but go ahead, sure. Eggs Benedict.
Eggs Benedict is a classic thing. I don't know if they would serve eggs Benedict at the Double R. I would like French toast.
They definitely serve eggs Benedict at the Double
Sure.
R. Yeah, you can poach an egg.
Yeah.
Hollandaise is easy. It's a diner. They got Hollandaise on, I'm sure. They'd have to.
Yeah, eggs Benedict then. I think it's
With some good home fries.
Oh, I love home fries. Nice.
Eggs Benedict, do you want normal ham or are you hoping that they've imported pork roll?
No, it would have to be normal ham. Regular Canadian
Or
bacon.
Canadian bacon, yeah.
Get it right
Okay.
across the border.
I gotta tell you what my mom's diner order is. My mom and my
It's
aunt.
deranged,
It's actually
actually.
awesome. So they go to this sick diner in like Butler,
Bumblefuck.
we'll call it that. It's North Pittsburgh, and they just decided to start getting eggs Benedict, but they go no ham, no bun. Instead, I want the home fries, then the poached eggs on top of the home fries, and then
the
just
sauce.
hollandaise on top. And I was like, that's genius.
Huh.
So it's just like think of it like a
like a hash.
skillet. It's like a hash, except with poached eggs and hollandaise.
And their
I was
tummies
like, that's-
still can't handle
Yeah, well,
it.
it's the eggs and the hollandaise, which is part egg. So
Yeah, I think they took the wrong things out of the order, actually.
I think no, the ham wouldn't help. But I was like saw that and I was like, you know what, that's a genius order. Like just hollandaise, potatoes, and egg, perfect. So
I just got 2 eggs over
I think
easy
Norma could
bacon.
do that for me.
Norma totally would do it if you asked. She's a sweet lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're talking not about Norma or the diner.
Well, she is in
necessarily.
the missing pieces, but
You're
yes,
so
we're
right. We're talking about
pieces.
Norma and the Double R Diner, so let's get into it.
And it's a Friday, so we got a couple cocktails to bring us along for this.
Well, I already
this
can't
ride.
talk, so I figured like
maybe
maybe
you
if I
should-
had the drink, it
that
would
would
help me
help.
talk. So
Cool.
here we are
So,
with a whiskey sour.
Let's talk about what the missing pieces are. They are referred to as Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces. They were released in 2014. And all they are is they're a compilation of deleted and extended scenes from Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which we covered last week, which came out in 2002. What
the
am I
fuck?
saying?
No.
1992, 10 years earlier. We're all a mess today.
Holy hell, brother.
Yeah, it's because I didn't write it down. Basically, they were just not included in the early home video release of Fire Walk with Me. So they had not been seen. There were scripts that Lynch wrote that everyone could see, so they kind of knew what scenes were there, but had never seen them until it got repackaged for like a box set that came out in 2014.
That's legitimately insane, but the missing pieces didn't come out till 2014. I think I'd always assumed that they probably came out in like 2000, like that they came out way sooner to be like, hey guys, I know the show's over, but here's a tasty treat for you to like help you survive this time.
From what I was reading, there was a lot of debate for a while about what to be included, who owned it, what the price of it was going to be. So it basically ended up being the box set selling point in 2014.
Yeah, for a long time, with a lot of David Lynch's work, there's a long string of rights issues.
Yeah.
Now, funny enough, Mark Frost and David Lynch had started writing The Return prior to this being released.
I was kind of guessing that might have been the case because there are things that I feel like are probably included because
The Return
of
was
the
coming.
return happening.
Yeah. So, just, I learned that today while reading about it. But if you didn't remember, The Missing Pieces, Fire Walk With Me was directed by David Lynch and written by Lynch and Robert Engels. Just some fun facts is he actually shot 5 hours of material. Which and then ended up cutting it because he wanted to focus on the film on the story of Laura, which I think is the correct decision and makes a lot of sense. And I think everything we get of Laura is so powerful, and it's a very I think, and we'll get into it more, I think cutting what he did turned Fire Walk With Me into like an actual masterpiece versus just a extension of the show.
Movie from a show.
Yeah.
Damn,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I was thinking about that as we were watching these. I think they would have fit very well if the film had been maybe like 4 episodes of network TV.
Definitely.
But as a feature film, I think the final cut of Fire Walk With Me is absolutely perfect.
I'm on your team. And I think it's paced so well that it makes total sense to remove what was removed. However, if you want some more time in Twin Peaks, I think you said it yourself, Jason, it's kind of like the Lord of the Rings extended cuts. It's just more time living in this town and like living amongst these characters, which is both good and bad. I don't know who really wants to spend more time in Twin Peaks in terms of actually being there. A lot of people, apparently.
I want to go.
Oh, I want to go. But I mean, the actual place is a spooky, scary place.
I'm a spooky, scary
all right.
lady.
You're strong enough.
I can take it.
Yep. Just don't work at Horn's department store, all right?
Oh.
I would never.
You wouldn't know.
I would be working at the diner, obviously.
Oh, true. That's the safest place to work. Probably pays you well.
Think about like my employment, my first job ever. It was the functional equivalent.
Yeah. The place is always packed except for in The Missing Pieces.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen the double R empty.
Very funny, yeah.
So those were my only fun facts, were really that he shot 5 hours, which I don't know if that's considered more or less than usual.
That's a lot.
Seems like a lot.
That's a lot.
But again, you're thinking coming off of the show. Like, what needs to be included? What do people want to see? And I think he went with the choice of showing people what they needed to see, not what they wanted to see.
And that was definitely the right call.
I
But
think
yeah,
so.
brave is a word for
Cool.
it, for sure.
So I'm not going to go through and read all of the changes and the plots. You just have to watch The Missing Pieces to understand this episode.
And we're going to go through the scenes. I wrote down as many of the scenes as I could. I probably have almost all of them.
Okay.
At least in like a forward description. So, we can get into them.
Okay. Well, where do you want to begin then? Sheriff? You got a scene?
Okay, well, we can start
Let's start at the beginning.
That is how things typically start.
The only way to begin is by beginning.
Yes. So
let's begin.
So the first scene that I wrote down is, quote, Chet Desmond will fuck a bitch up if he needs to.
I did enjoy seeing this fight, but it was just another one where I was like, the cold open, as we're going to call it, of the whole Chet Desmond saga needs to be the length it is. I don't think we want too much more. I think it stays its welcome just as much.
I mean, I said it in the last episode. For me, I was like, I don't care about this man. I want Laura or Dale. Like, I don't want this man. So for me, on first watch, I felt like it took
too long anyway.
So long anyway that adding anything else to it, I would have been like, why, David, why?
I think I agree with that. But I also do enjoy seeing Chet being a badass the way that Coop is as well, and just like knocking this shitty sheriff's teeth out.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's kind of cathartic to see because you're rooting for him, and then he wins the fight, and it's really good. Like, if the entire Chet Desmond opening had been like one 45-minute episode of a television series, and you could pace it out a little bit more leisurely, and you could have, because the scene does go on for a long time, And that works. David Lynch can shoot a long scene, and it works in the context where he puts them in. But in the context of the film, this would have just taken too much away. And it's just stuff that we didn't have to see happening.
I agree.
It's also covered by the fact that it's in the movie. It's more that the sheriff's all bark, no bite. He's like, you're not taking it. And Chet's like, yeah, we are taking it. We're the federal government. And it kind of just ends there. And I think it is, honestly, this is such an interesting thing to see because I don't think we see a lot of edited scenes and cut scenes to be like, oh yeah, if you remove that, it doesn't change anything. And that's why it's out. So from a filmmaking standpoint, I was pretty fascinated watching this. So just a thought I had.
I think it also... It's very David Lynch in that the scene goes on for a while. And therefore, I do think it's just like a waste of our fucking time.
Hey, whoa.
When it's also not adding
yes,
anything.
agreed.
Because the thing is many of his scenes are like very slow and you're sitting with it. But I think that's because it emotionally resonates with you in some way, whether it is to make you annoyed or more tense or sad or what have you. And this scene's just not like doing any of those things for me enough.
Yep, I think I agree. You got any more Chet Desmond scenes you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I just...
There were a couple others, but I think none of them were like
all the
anything
Chet Desmond
outstanding.
scenes were like right in a row.
Yeah.
And that was
So you
the
kept it as all
only
one?
piece of it that I wrote down because none of it... I honestly was like, I don't even know what's new or not besides the fight.
Yeah, a lot of them,
frankly.
they're not
It's just like...
deleted scenes in the sense that they're extended versions
Yeah.
of what made it into the final cut of the film.
And therefore, I was like, I don't even know what I would write down for this. So that's what I got
All right,
there.
so what's next on it? The Laura scenes?
And the next is we get a scene of Dale talking to Diane.
Oh,
Except we don't see Diane, we only see Dale in the doorway. And this is where he's playing this little game of like, what did you move in your office? He's like, oh, you've moved the clock 12 inches.
See, I didn't realize he was actually talking to Diane. I thought he was practicing what he was going to say to Diane. Because we didn't see her. So maybe that was my misread of it. And I was like, oh, he's just like practicing flirting with Diane. Okay.
Well, either way, how I took it is like, this is a regular game that they play where she like weekly moves something funky in her office.
To keep him on his toes.
And yeah, to keep him on his toes.
It's really cute. The thing is, the movie's not about Dale, though.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really have a
And Kyle
place
MacLachlan,
there,
they wanted him in the movie more, and he said no. He didn't even want to be in the first place because he didn't want to get typecast.
He's a bad bitch for that.
Well, yeah. It's funny that he didn't want to get typecast because he's so good as this character that I
Yeah.
don't think he would have. But he had to go shoot the Flintstones instead. You ever seen the Flintstones?
Darn.
Live action?
No, we had to shoot Showgirls.
Showgirls, you're right, yeah.
I've definitely seen the Flintstones live action when
He's
I
in
was a
it.
child.
He's the bad guy in it.
I don't remember that,
Yep.
but I remember seeing
I'll find a
the movie.
photo of him for you. It could have been Viva Las Vegas, which is the prequel. Did I say Las Vegas? Viva Rock Vegas? Is that what it's called? Honestly,
fuck
I
are
don't
you
know at this
talking about?
point. It's the prequel to the Flintstones movie where none of the actors came back, but it's another live action one.
Absolutely no one knows what you're talking about. This is a niche topic.
Real film heads know. Viva Rock Vegas.
Okay.
I'm positive.
Drop a comment on Spotify and let us know if
You
have
know
heard of Viva
Rock Vegas.
Rock
The
Vegas.
Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas.
Now man's
Let me-
Googling it to make
just
sure
need
it
to-
exists.
The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas.
That's insane.
It's real. It came out in 2000.
25% on Rotten Tomatoes. Incredible. How many
It's a prequel
reviewers?
to the 1994 film showing how Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble met and courted Wilma and Betty,
Absolutely not.
leading to a romantic weekend in Rock Vegas, where villainous casino owner Chip Rockefeller tries to win Wilma and her fortune.
No. All I can say is no. Take that away.
And none of the actors came back. No Rosie O'Donnell.
Ridiculous.
No John Goodman.
Ridiculous. Remind me if I get John Goodman in Movie Grid.
That he's in the
play
Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Yeah. That's a good one. I think Rick Moranis is Barney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Rick Moranis is definitely in it.
All right, sorry. Okay, let's off of Kyle MacLachlan's more popular work, The Flintstones.
Well, speaking of him, the next scene that I wrote down was Dale learning about the letter under her nail.
They just
The
wanted
base's
Sam
nail.
and Dale to interact. Didn't need it. That was another one. I feel bad being like, they didn't need it. But obviously Lynch cut this stuff for a reason, so.
I think the only reason... I actually don't even know if it was really to have him interact with Sam, per se. I think it's there because he talks about it in the pilot.
Knowing the letter.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, like a lot of this stuff, it's nice to see just for the fun of seeing it, but a lot of the stuff that we see is stuff that's either talked about or otherwise implied later on. It's like, oh, he talks about the letter under the fingernail. It's like, well, he probably read the case file.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily need to have been there.
I'm going to bring this up later, but I'll say it now. It also feels like some of the interactions take away from some of the mystique of everything. So, like, Sam never showing up again after Chet disappears is, like, much more eerie than him being like, yeah, Chet's gone to Coop. There is some eeriness of the complete separation after he's gone. So,
Yeah, I
just
agree.
a thought. Okay, yeah. So, again, it's, like, nice to see it because I'm sure it could have happened, but from a filmmaking standpoint, I just don't need it.
And that's why it's not there.
Yeah. Continue, please.
Philip Jeffries.
Okay, so this, Hannah, you wouldn't know, is like a huge point of contention, I guess, that like people really like this edition because Philip Jeffries is like a very important character in the lore of the show. I like this edition, and I want Jason to talk on it a little bit more. But I would say I would like it, but I think seeing his perspective is a little odd, and I'll get to it. But Jason, you got any background for us on this or thoughts?
Not necessarily background. As far as thoughts, well, it comes down to like how much do we want to know about Judy at this point? He throws out more. I don't think we need to see as much of we did of him in the hotel and the aftermath of him being in the hotel. I think the first half I really liked. The second half I think could have been safely cut. The first half made it into the film. I don't necessarily know if it would have made it a better film, but I wouldn't have looked at it and thought, this is superfluous, we don't need to have this. But, I mean, the Philip scenes are things, yeah, they don't need to exist in their entirety in the film, but I would have liked to see just a little bit more.
I think I agree with you on that like we could have gotten a little more Philip because there's a lot of mystique to this as well, and it gives us a little bit more ideas about the Black Lodge and the entities. And like clearly he gets transported both through space and time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's forward or backward, I don't think, or if it's just through space. Yeah. But basically, he's disappeared for 2 years, shows up like while being in that hotel, and I think it's Buenos Aires. Yeah. Is that Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Argentina. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, he's there, tells them, and then is transported back and like fried up against that wall, whatever happened there. Clearly, he's freaked out, and I like how scared he seems in this version of like, okay, these forces are frightening. However, I think bringing the camera with him and us following him completely pulls away from any of the like the mystique, as I said before. It's much more interesting to see it from the perspective of Gordon, Coop, and Albert.
Yeah.
So, but there is a lot of debate over what happened to Philip Jeffries among the Twin Peaks community.
Well, and I don't think this really answers it for that much either.
The debate comes from this, though. This is what has like had created more discussion.
I don't know. I feel like I had that discussion. I had those thoughts from watching the film.
Well, I think he talks about Judy. Or he said we're not going to talk about Judy a little bit more.
I watched season 3, episode 8 with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which doesn't mean anything to you.
Did they say Judy there? Why have I heard the name Judy?
Because I've probably talked about a character named Judy. Mm-hmm. But I don't want you to think any harder about it till we get there.
Okay, well, I did write down what he said about Judy because I've heard the name
Yes,
before.
write it down.
Well, all I wrote, he says something about Judy. Young lady left him something, ... Judy. And then later when he comes into the office, he says, well, now I'm not going to talk about Judy. And then immediately he's like, Judy is positive about this. I've been to one of their meetings. It's above a convenience store.
And Albert says, I thought we weren't going to talk about Judy.
And I laughed out loud because that's my boy. My sarcastic
No, he does bring
kid.
up Judy in the original cut of the movie.
Yeah.
He just says, we're not going to talk about Judy.
Yeah.
No, we're not. He says it twice. And he seems very scared there as well, which great David Bowie performance, just have to say.
Those high-waisted pants are incredible.
He looks great.
I liked that. I got
his
to
southern
look at them
accent
longer.
that he doesn't have in real life. Like I love that he's like, I'm doing a southern
Fascinating.
accent as Philip Jeffries.
How much of the scene above the convenience store did we get in Fire Walk with Me.
A decent chunk,
Yeah.
not all of it though. There's a little bit more with like the electricity going on in this, and that I think ties into things that happen in the return. So I don't want to talk too much.
Why they were released
to a degree. There's electricity all over the show.
Yeah, there's electricity, and there's also a couple lines that I don't think made it to the final cut. Like, we descended from pure air. I don't recall being in the final cut of the film, which is a theme that gets explored a little bit more in the return, and also the "we live within a dream." Oh, and then what's Bob say? It's like, I'm moving by the force of my own momentum or something. That would have been cool to have in the film, because that's a scary line, knowing like what Bob is and saying he's not someone who's just working off of Leland and feeding off of evil that Leland is committing as Leland. Like, this is a guy he's moving on his own. Like, he's taken over.
Yeah.
I wrote down pretty much the entire dialogue of that scene. Man from the arm says, electricity from pure air. We have descended from pure air, going up and down, intercourse between the two worlds.
I need you to highlight that, because now that Jason has talked about that, we need to talk about that later into season 3.
Okay.
I think that's really fascinating. Yeah.
I'll just put
that
highlighted
that. For everyone
with a
out there. If you know,
question
you know. If not, we'll talk about it when we get there.
And then another guy goes, animal life. And then there's this shot of corn, and then he goes, Garbonzia, this is a formica table, green is its color, which was in the film. And then we have the Bob, I have a fury of my own momentum. And sorry, Jason, you didn't butcher it, but that's, I have a fury of my own momentum. That is a weirdly sickening line. Bars.
Yeah.
In like a sinister way. And then someone says, fell a victim. And I don't know who says that, because I have that in separate quotes.
It's a woodsman, I think.
And then, with this ring, Ivy wed. And then there was like a shot that kind of implied that Laura was seeing it in her dreams, perhaps.
I saw that as well. But there's also, Philip Jeffrey says he eavesdropped on a meeting. Like, so he was he was above a convenience store. Now, I don't know if you remember, Mike, in one of his scenes way early in the show, said we lived above a convenience store.
Yes.
So there are some interpretations that this is a part of the Black Lodge, the space above the convenience store. Don't really know. I probably believe that, but...
I remember one of our guests emphasizing the convenience store bit, and I was like, I didn't catch that, but you're saying it, so I'm writing it down.
They lived above a convenience store. And you know, I wanted to say, I wrote this down, I forgot to say it earlier. Some interesting things that I think this does is it really establishes the Arm, or the Man from Another Place, as a more evil entity, where he seems much more ambivalent. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Ambiguous?
Ambiguous. Is that the word? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Ambiguous in the show, where you're not really sure. It's like kind of a little bit of both. I found the movie, and especially this, is like, okay, no, he is like one of the bad guys. And if we read him as... he's teamed up. He is the Mike's arm that he cut off. That was the evilest part of Mike. That is now teamed up with Mike's partner Bob. Then it gets really fucking scary.
Well, that was when I was watching these, how I was viewing him, but then also just like watching the actor's facial expressions. I found him quite sinister in these scenes, to the point where like he's sitting right next to Bob, and I found him scarier.
It's interesting to think.
Scarier than Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the arm being the most evil part of Bob. I mean, Bob. Or not Bob. Mike. But still, I mean, he said Mike and Bob, I guess, would have had the same tattoo, the same arm, and done the same hunting. So it's interesting in this context as the arm being the concentrated evil removed from Mike. Like, maybe we don't see it, but maybe he's even worse than Bob. Because Bob is presumably a person or a spirit of some kind that has other stuff going on in his head besides just evil.
Where, the arm is all evil, right? Because it's just the most evil part of Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun to think about. But it's very interesting to see that he's not that evil in the show. Or is he? He's just like playing off. Like somewhere in between.
The show is just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. That's why we love it.
This is true.
Cool. All right. We got some more scenes. But that's the main thing for the Philip Jeffries stuff. I think that it's very interesting, because I think that it played on a lot of lore going into the return. So we'll get there.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see how that comes back up, especially, I guess, the electricity thing, since...
Electricity's all over his works. I mean, it's at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
So it's part of the Lynch Frost logo. Yeah.
The next set of scenes is where Laura's mom comes home with the groceries. Laura takes the keys, says she's going to pick up school books. And then when she comes back, Sarah's like, you lied to me about those school books. Laura's like, I went to see Bobby and I didn't tell you the truth because I know you don't like him. And then Sarah says, honey, you don't have to lie to me ever. I will understand. And then Leland comes in acting like a fucking freak and talking in Norwegian. And then they're all laughing really hard.
I have a lot of thoughts about the extended Laura scenes, but the main thought is I think the movie's so perfect with Laura that I didn't need any more extension of what happened with her. But
I just thought, like, it adds depth to what her home life was. Because, like, we know, I mean, seeing in the film all the worst parts of it. But this is showing, it's like, you know, there are highs and lows.
Which is maybe more realistic.
Yeah.
I liked the conversation with Laura and Sarah. I like that, I don't know, I feel like this is just like a real mother-daughter conversation to be having. Like, Mom, I don't remember where Laura really was, but like...
she was with Bobby. Or,
actually,
no, she wasn't. You know what, I don't even know. They might have not even shown where she actually was.
But like, regardless of where she was, there's like a very real, like... energy there of like, well, I didn't tell you where I was going, Mom, because you don't actually like my boyfriend, and I know that, but like, I'm in high school and I'm making my own mistakes and whatever. And then I like Sarah saying, you don't have to lie to me ever, I will understand, but also knowing that Sarah knows what's happening with Leland. I think that like,
it's really sinister.
I think it cuts a lot harder.
I agree.
And
I mean, it's debatable that she knows. I think she knows.
Part
because
of
I think
me is like, is that line like, you can tell me what's actually happening because I have an inkling already? Is that just like, you can tell me things about your life because I'm your mom?
I think it's kind of a slap in the face because Laura's face even is like, well, you know something. But I guess subconsciously, because Laura's only been seeing Bob this whole time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, there's like a subconscious, like, you know.
Someone's been sneaking in my windows and assaulting me for years. Like, how do you not know about this, Mom?
Yeah.
Although, are we going to talk about the blue sweater later on, or are we going to lump that in with...
We can jump right to the blue sweater.
There was an interesting thing. She's like, oh, it's happening again.
Because she's wearing the sweater and she's like, where's my sweater? And she's like, Mom, you're wearing it.
Because that adds something... I mean, not necessarily to the film, but to this collection of scenes. And it's like, she seems maybe having memory lapses or something. Or there's that, and how much of that is her own mental state, or how often has Leland been drugging her? Is that having lasting effects on her?
Oh, jeez. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. No, I wrote that down too, because she says it's happening again like a couple times. And then, like it seems like she is having some form of memory lapse, which obviously, like you said, it was like, okay, this could be her, like, repressing bad things that are happening and then just lumping the sweater in that, or it's actually, like, the biological effects of the drugs that he's giving her.
My tummy hurts.
So I'm on the same page with Jason. That's also how I saw it as well.
It's one of those ones, though, that while I like it, it's like, I don't know if I need the additions still, but...
That small little bit, I was like, oh, that's tough. But then you have to keep the earlier scene where she mentions the sweater on the closet floor. So, like, you're not going to... And I don't think that needs to be there. So you're not going to keep both. Leland coming in, acting with all of this, like... He's so erratic. He's got all this energy, talking in Norwegian. And I felt so unsettled by that. I feel like you guys were like, look, sometimes their family wasn't blatantly terrible.
I think the point is that, like, when abuse happens, there is always the normal side of this person that makes it even harder to understand the abuse, especially when we talk about, like, spousal abuse.
To me, and I don't know if it's because having the context of Leland being a fucking piece of shit, I was immediately like, oh, this is so unsettling. Like, the way he walks in and then is also like, you will learn to say, my name is Leland. The entirety of that was really unsettling. Also, I think it's just tough to hear him speaking in another language, and at first we're like, what the fuck are you saying? Especially because we all have this, like, talking backwards Garbonzia stuff already happening, so it, like, kind of harkens back to that, and it's unsettling in that regard, too.
He also has the little jingle about the birds eat oats and thing when he's going around
Diddly
in the horse
Oaks,
costume. Yeah.
It's a most of the songs he sings are Broadway songs. I don't know if that one is, but he loves Broadway.
That man has got a song in his heart. That's for fucking sure. And the laughing was really unsettling because it's obviously too much.
Once again, Cheryl Lee though. Whew, that laugh, everything she does, it's like breathtaking. It's the piercing's better. It's actually breathtaking in that I just got punched in the stomach.
Yeah. The next scene is Laura and the truck driver.
Unnecessary. It's fine. It just kind of shows more of her lifestyle at that point due to the abuse.
It's awful to watch, but it doesn't cover anything that wasn't covered, especially in the pink room.
That's like also her being driven there by all of the, which we'll get to next, by the clients, we'll call them. I don't like using that word. That's how they say it on Wikipedia. But it's like them and then Donna not having the coke and her calling her a buzzkill, basically.
I don't even know when that scene was.
It was right after that scene. It was before they get to the pink room. And I kind of saw it as an interesting juxtaposition as she calls her a buzzkill. So then Donna goes crazy there and then puts herself in a bad situation. And then Laura is like, no, and breaks it all up and stops it. So it's like kind of interesting to see that she maybe put her in that situation by calling her a buzzkill and calling her stuck up and all that stuff. And a muffin. We did
the muffin thing happens later.
Okay, well.
So you might have it out of order. I'm not sure.
That's possible. But either way, it's another one where I was like, I understand why it was thought about, but I also think cutting it was fine.
Yeah, we can see that in even just their interactions that made it into the final cut of the film. So you can tell, like, Donna is trying to keep up with Lara.
Yes.
And Lara is just kind of silently the entire time. And it's like, oh, you won't go there. It's like, oh, she's here.
But then she's like, no, don't be like me.
Yeah.
It's like she like goads her. It almost feels like some of the stuff they cut was because it was too heavy-handed. Which is very funny. Like, because I don't think the film's heavy-handed at all. I think it's like exactly where it's supposed to be. So to like see that there was a level and to be like, no. Like Maggie Gyllenhaal could have taken some of this advice for The Bride, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because there's a really good film there if there was just some things cut and moved around.
Yeah.
So.
The next scene that I wrote down is Pete and the 2x4s.
Adored this scene, but this was my cherry pie moment.
Yeah, me
just
too.
Gonna say, so we can just throw that out there. Another scene I don't need in the movie. This is just to make fans of the show happy.
Yes,
but
100%.
However, as a structural engineer, this is a real thing. Sawn lumber comes in their nominal sizes. The 2x4s don't exist. They're 1 by 1.5 by 3.5. Same with
1 and 9/16 by 3.
That's what he says, but when we engineered it the other way. When a 2x12 is 1.5 by 11 and a quarter inch. Crazy, right? That's a whole 3/4 of an inch not there. But that's how the national standard for all of this for sawn lumber works, which there is a whole national standard, a whole grading industry. They grade it by knots, all this crazy stuff. So I know way too much about wood, is what I'm saying. So this made me really happy with this guy being like, it's not 2x4, and Pete being like, we haven't made 2x4 since 1990, or 1990, but 1910, basically.
Yeah.
So we did have nominal real sizes at one point. I've gone to buildings with it, and it's annoying to deal with because I can't give them. I got to give them something that's a smaller size now and make adjustments because of it because they don't make that wood anymore. Like the home we're in is all, or our apartment is all, what's it called? Mass timber. They don't make this anymore either. So yeah, that's it. That's my rant. I love it.
It was so funny.
And it's Mibbler, who's in one episode, the finale.
Yeah, I don't care about that guy, but I do care about Jack Nance, so...
I do love it. And Josie, beautiful hair.
Oh, yeah,
I love the little bit of a longer hair. I kind of wish they had that on her for the show.
Her being back, I was almost like, jump scare.
Yeah. Remember when, in the one episode, Pete was talking to the wood mantle? Was like, Josie, I see your face. After she had been taken away. And then they never acknowledged it again.
Yup. Crazy.
But either way, sorry, I like this scene just from the engineering thing and it being true, and it made me laugh a lot how he was all pissed off that it wasn't a real 2x4. So I'm sure there are plenty of young structural engineers that have had that realization as well.
Yeah. Okay, next scene is the Double R diner stuff.
With Ed and Norma?
Yeah, with Ed and Norma, with Laura leaving, with Shelley being like, Leo won't believe that I'm delivering these, so if he calls, like, help me out.
I'm never going to complain about more Ed and Norma. For me, anytime they added extra side character stuff other than the Chet Desmond, I was like, you know what, I'm fine with this because I love these characters. A lot of it was the extra Laura stuff where I was like, it was kind of perfect as is, so I didn't need.
I didn't need this at all because I don't think it's necessary in the narrative that Fire Walk With Me is trying to tell.
Agreed, and also we get all of this information in the show.
Yeah.
I think it's more that you're seeing a sequel prequel to the show, and you're like, where are my besties at?
Yeah, I think that's my cherry pie moment, is them in the car with Ed playing with the breathalyzer.
That was really cute. I understand why it was cut, because again, we see all of that later, but...
Also, I think that's like Hanna said, like the film's not about them. It's not part of the narrative of the film, which is focused on Lara.
Yeah.
And Lara, I guess to the best of our knowledge, never interacted to any degree with any of these people.
Ed, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Probably filled up her car.
Yeah. That's about it.
It's like, obviously she interacted with Norma, but it's like, I don't care about their relationship.
It's really there for the viewers. And like I said before,
Yeah.
he gave us what we wanted, but not what we needed.
Yeah.
So pulling it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it does, though. It just kind of like makes you like seeing their relationship, but there's a whole show about them, and you can just go rewatch the show.
Yes, exactly.
Like, this is
Also-
about the character that was absent from the show, but had the biggest impact on the show.
Yes.
And that's what's very
Yes.
interesting. To even call Laura absent from the show is crazy, because her DNA, is for lack of a better term, is the entire point of the show, right? Like,
Yeah,
her
but, like-
absence is what makes the show.
That's a great line with Donna in the cemetery putting the flower on the grave. And he's like, you're dead, but we're still dealing with all of your problems.
I love that line. We talked about that a bunch.
Scene.
Yeah, that
Such a good scene.
just sobbing there.
It's like her best
It's
scene.
her best scene, definitely.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Donna, the next scene in the missing pieces is Laura and Donna. Donna expresses that she thinks Laura doesn't want to be around her because she's uptight.
This is another one that I think we said is taken care of with the rest of the film
And the show.
and the show.
Like, it's literally right there. Donna says she's thinking about doing it with Mike. And Laura says, you don't even like Mike. Is this your way of showing me you're not uptight? Which, like, incredible.
I laughed at this, but it was also crazy for her to be like, oh, hey, Mom, bring me a muffin.
I was literally like, girl, you're talking about losing your virginity and your mom's in the other corner of the room? I'm like, damn, when I was in high school, I wasn't talking like that with my mom in the other room.
Speaking of, though, the scene right after this, I liked much more than the scene beforehand. I loved her interacting with Doc Hayward.
Yes.
I had not seen that, and we know that Doc Hayward was close with so many. And like, it almost is there's almost some indication that Doc Hayward knows that she's in some kind of trouble and he doesn't know what to do. And like, her giving him that kiss on the forehead, him being like, how come you can't smoke at home and you come to my house where I don't allow any smoking and I let you smoke here? And she's like, because you love me so much. And I'm like, I love Laura. I love this relationship. We've all had parents that are like our own parents to some degree. You know, we all have more than one set of parents, I would say. And so it made me like feel that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing because, I mean, we were all alive in the 90s, but we're just wee toddlers.
Barely.
But I think part of this is just kind of growing up and being a young adult in the 90s is just spending a lot of time outside of your own home, but thinking about Lara specifically of going everywhere to be somewhere that's not her home.
Especially given what was happening there.
Yeah, is really
It's a good point.
tough.
I do think about the 90s, 2000s. Like, I spent so much time just living in my neighbor's house. You know, that's just how it was.
Yeah.
And they all know. But one of my second moms is apparently watching the show, so I don't know if she'll be listening. Mrs.
Shout
Pletz.
out.
Yeah, Becky.
I was gonna say shout out Becky.
So,
Hope
my
you're
mom will
still
get a kick out of that.
Yeah, hope you're still tuning in, Bex. But yeah, then there's the scene with Doc Hayward, like you mentioned, and he says there's like what Donna describes as like a prescription, and he looks at it and says it's a secret message for Laura, and I feel like I missed something there, but like what?
And it was
Why
about the
there
angel
was
coming back and she'll
confusion
cry tears of joy, which is what happens
I
at the
will
end.
read the
sorry. Oh, my
quote.
bad.
I'm just saying. I was like, how
I
are we
didn't know-
confusing this note about angels with a prescription.
I did not understand that scene.
I imagine because it happens right after he was trying to do a magic trick and failing, and so I assumed he had this stowed away somewhere on this person.
Yeah.
And Donna couldn't read his handwriting, and was like, "Oh, it must be a prescription that he wrote and took home."
That's funny.
Oh,
If that's, okay.
Jason, you're so smart. That's why we have you on.
That's so true.
And so then it was
Well,
more like he could tell that
he's
Laura was
needed.
just needed
Yeah.
some good advice, and that was what he gave her, which was really sweet, actually.
He says, it's a secret message for Laura. The angels will return, and when you see the one that's meant to help you, you will weep with joy.
It almost feels like a fortune cookie.
I mean, it is, like, quite literally.
Yeah.
And then it's all ruined because Laura gets a call from Leland and has to leave.
Yeah.
But I do like that scene a lot with Doc Hayward. Like we said, obviously we never really see much. We never see their relationship. And it's not talked about all that much in the show, besides that he was her doctor and also his daughter's best friend. So I like showing that, like, she is special to him and the rest of the family too. And I think that line and then that showing up at the end of the film would have been pretty poignant to see.
I think it's
say
another
it.
moment of it being maybe a little heavy-handed, unfortunately.
It is heavy-handed, but I would have liked that particular shade of heavy-handedness. I think it's fine without it. I'm just saying this is one of the few scenes that I'm like, I could take it.
Yeah.
The next scene is Coop in the red room. This is the ring. Is it the future? Is it the past? Do you know who I am? I'm the arm, and I sound like this.
This is just a different version of the scene we got in the film. Maybe a little bit extended and like shot differently. But I think it's fine. I think what we got is fine as well, though, right? Like, it's not that much different.
No,
I think it kind of sets up a later scene a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Next is Laura going upstairs at home. The fan's on. And like she hears a man voicing you.
It's Bob's voice.
You've seen what we can do. She says no, and we hear, I want a taste from your mouth. And then there's this like really long lingering shot close up on Laura. And then there's the Sarah sweater thing that immediately follows.
I can jump right in on this. I think this is just the indication that Bob wants to take her over next, like wants to ride along with her or possess her, whatever he does. Which, again, I think in the film we get this explained just in a little more concise and better way. However, I kind of liked it.
Cool to see like this evil trying to take her over on
And her
screen.
turning it away, basically.
Yeah, I was almost like bothered in the film that we never get, like we have it told to us, but we don't see it. So this is another one where I'm kind of like, I could have taken this.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see a lot of like her internal struggles in the film and her like extreme highs and lows of behavior. But this, I don't know, it just would have shown like there's something big that's eating away at her. And it's like, it's almost all the way there.
Yeah. And that's like, this is like the manifestation, the text manifestation of the subtext of the film. Is that the best way to put it? Everyone knows what I mean, right? The English majors, they got it.
Next scene is Big Ed and Norma and the breathalyzer scene. That
We
Jason
talked about it. It's
was
cute as hell.
talking about.
That's Jason's cherry pie moment.
Yeah.
It was cute, but otherwise that's it. The next scene is Mike and his circle of candles. He's saying, "Fire, walk with me," and on lighting the candles, but it's basically him lighting the candles reversed.
Can I just say it goes hard as hell? I don't need it, but damn, did it look cool.
Yeah.
It's just odd. It's so different from everything else that we've seen of Mike
Yes.
at that point.
Yes. And so it was like a little odd. And I don't know where it would have fit in. Or is it him basically trying to prevent what's happening? Like he's the good entity, the reformed entity.
I mean, the backwards talk frightens me a little bit. Well, it makes me think that there's still something in Mike. Like, whatever pact he made to hunt with Bob, he didn't eliminate it entirely just by getting the arm off.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Okay.
I don't know if it builds towards anything.
No, not in the film.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
It is cool looking.
I like that read, though. I just know it doesn't really lead towards anything in the return. So I'm like, well, don't need it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, I don't know that it doesn't lead to anything, but fair enough.
It's not a spoiler to say that, I would say.
I wouldn't
Mike is
have
not going to be a bad guy now, you know?
I wouldn't have expected him to be, so that's good that he's still good. Or just a guy. The next scene is Leland calling Teresa after seeing her photo in Flesh World, and then he schedules to come meet her, and then he does, but then he sees Ronette and Laura, and then we see the scene of her calling, asking
What they look
Jacques what Ronette and Laura's father looks like. Which is implied, like, we already get enough that happened from the film. So I don't think
this is another
adds anything.
example of how cool editing and filmmaking is, where it's like, wait a second, we could remove 5 minutes of this film and take care of it all in 10 seconds.
Part of me feels sad for this actress that she had half her screen time removed. But
also at the same time, she's Teresa Banks.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge name among Twin Peaks. So
Yeah.
it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you
don't
think,
need it.
Jason? I
We
mean, do
don't
you think
need it.
it's worthwhile cut?
It's, yeah, because what do we see? We see Leland comes, he sees Laura and Ronette there, he leaves. We see that in the film. We don't need to see them interacting after he leaves. And we see her calling and blackmailing him. We know that she was blackmailing him. That's explained to us. We don't need to see her doing it.
Yeah. This is
with ya.
a rare version of Tell Don't Show.
Yeah.
Uncommon. Only the masters can get away with the Tell Don't Show.
Valid. The next scene is the one with Truman, Hulk, and Andy.
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts. I know I keep talking first, but I'm sorry. I'll just get it out of the way. We don't get any Truman, Hawk, or Andy in the movie.
And I like that.
And I like that as well. And the reason I like it is because all we need to see is Laura's body wrapped in plastic. Because we know what's to come. And we know we're going to see them. And their absence from all of it, I think, is much more intriguing because it's not about solving the murder yet. So
Yeah.
why would the police be around?
Yes.
What do we need to know? And as much as I love seeing these actors and spending time with them, especially Lucy and Andy being silly and Lucy not understanding how phones work, which might come back, it's not necessary for where we are within the story of Laura Palmer yet. So that's my thoughts. Sorry if I stole anybody's thunder, but I was excited.
You stole mine, so I have nothing to add.
Start cutting me off and talking first. I get too many thoughts about all this stuff.
No, it's great to see them. I mean, we talked about this right at the beginning. These are like the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. You watch them to spend more time in the world. It doesn't make them better films, but you love the people and you just want to see them interact more. And we see them. We know that Jacques' brother is bringing cocaine from Canada. We know from the original series that they're tracking them down kind of off the book to try to track the drugs coming into Twin Peaks. And it's fun to see the interactions, but again, it's not what the film is about.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also say it's like not what Lynch exactly wants to do. And I think Jason, you and I have talked about The Return very much being like, hey, here's your nostalgia and shove it. Like, nostalgia's a trap, like, fuck you, is kind of what The Return does a little bit. Sorry for everyone out there to know. And it's like, if you want to go spend time with those characters, rewatch the show. And I feel like that was his attitude a little bit going into The Return of like, I'm not going back and recreating season 1 and 2. It was like, you're getting my vision and something new. So even in the movie, it's like, no shit, he cut this because it's like, hey, if you want that, go watch the show. I made a perfectly good show for you.
And this is a little bit of a non sequitur, but I don't know. This seems like a good place to fit it in. Is that I was thinking about this after we watched Fire Walk with Me, about how it might be the anti-a straight story. Where the message of a straight story is the world is changing and that's okay. You don't have to be afraid of it. And in Twin Peaks, everything is staying the same and it's bad.
Agreed. Now that's really interesting. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Well put, Jason.
Like you mean with The Return specifically, it's like pointing out that everyone wants to say the same thing.
Even in the original series, it's like Cooper is drawn to it. It's like everything is the same. Everything is so simple. And he's just seeing the surface level quaint town. And it's crazy for Coop to be doing that because he's investigating these horrible crimes that are taking place in Twin Peaks. But I'm saying it's like, oh, you have these sunny lanes. I'm not going to say 51,000. It's a 5,000 person town. And but it's bad. Things are stagnating and it's just bad. It's rotten under the surface.
I really like that take, especially. That I would say you're good. That was not a non sequitur.
Oh, wonderful.
That's a great example about the straight story as well. It makes me see both of these in a little bit of a different light. So, nice point. I like that. That's the best point of the episode so far.
Hell
Plus
yeah,
one, Jason.
brother.
Hell yeah.
Next scene is Bobby and Laura at school. Bobby gives her the money for the safety deposit box. Jason, thoughts?
That's another thing. I mean, I like seeing them interact because it's fun, I guess, seeing Bobby just being kind of this insane, immature high school student, like in way over his head in the drug business. And
he's a buffoon.
Yeah.
Is for lack of a better word.
But we don't have to see this. We already know from the original run of the series that Laura had the money in the safety deposit box, and Bobby is deep in that he needs drugs or he needs money. And for some reason, he gives the money to the least reliable person that he knows.
Don't you dare talk about Laura that way, Jason. I'm going to ask you to leave.
But that's extremely valid. Like, he's giving this money to his girlfriend that's constantly on coke.
I swear I thought you were about to call her a junkie and I was going to divorce
Why
you.
would
No,
I?
I know.
Matt, you know it.
I know you would never.
Use the word junkie
I know you wouldn't.
First of all.
I know. It was just in my head. It was, it was more about me than you. It was in my head.
And maybe I should divorce you for thinking
No,
that
please.
That.
Right. All right.
Yeah, no, I don't think this has any need to be here. Since we already know all of this information. From the show, we understand that Bobby's a fucking idiot. That he's a buffoon. That we know
From the
where
movie,
the money is.
him
like,
walking backwards being cool guy, we know he's a buffoon. So it's
immediate.
great. It's so fun.
You meet Bobby and you're like, oh, he's a fuck. Like,
But I like him.
Extra details to tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
He's just not smart enough to be malicious.
That is so true.
It's kind of a sweet thing to say. You're right. He's not smart enough to be a bad person.
He's just like innocently a bad person when he is. It's just coming from being so dumb.
Yeah.
That he doesn't even know what he's doing. The next scene, Jacoby calls Laura at her home, says, Laura, you didn't come see me yesterday, asks for another tape, and ends the call by saying, Laura, send me a kiss.
This was a Black Lodge for me, by the way.
Can I
Okay,
talk?
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
You just complained a couple minutes ago that you were talking
Go ahead.
much. Yeah, this scene is fucking vile, and I almost, I don't like seeing it because I had done a really great job blacking out what a terrible person this man was because we got less and less of him throughout the show. Yeah. And so I was able to kind of ignore that he was such a piece of fucking shit that it's literally her therapist taking advantage of her. And so having to face that again by seeing it, I was like, oh my god, gag. I see the value of filming this. I could have seen the value in including it because it's just another man that's trying to harm her and take advantage of her. But at the same time, I also very much understand why it was taken out. And because, if that's the only scene we're really getting of him, I don't think that that's going to do that storyline justice being here.
I think it also makes it explicitly clear how awful he is, where throughout the show, it's very left to your own interpretation. I'd say we're pretty smart and we know, okay, this is a bad guy, but you don't know to what level. I mean, you know she's leaving recordings, but you didn't realize that he was the one being very possessive and being leave me recordings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I inferred that, I guess, but
what's interesting?
My point is, sorry, Jason, the inferral is stronger than it just saying it outright, I think. Does that make sense?
On the show, it seems almost as though he cares genuinely for her, but has an inappropriate fixation. And in this scene, it's just clear. It's no, this is predatory behavior. But one thing I would have liked that I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't see in the film is her recording the final tape that she sends him.
Oh, that would have been really cool. That's a great point. Jason, let's let you recut this, okay?
Good point.
I didn't think about that. There's so much stuff that they're we need to make sure this is in place, but that's something they didn't do.
I can't remember what the last tape was.
She talks about meeting Jay that's her diary. Yeah. She says, "What's up, Doc?"
I remember that part.
Yeah, I got the mystery man.
The mystery man.
If I tell you about him, you'll be history man.
It's Bob, who's the mystery man.
Yeah.
which is very scary.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Interesting that that's not even a part of the
Yeah.
missing pieces.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes it seem like they never would have recorded that. But, like, I feel like if you have this, then you should have that. Yeah. So, the next scene is Laura going to Bobby's, and he's in the basement freaking out and whatnot.
This is just because they also added the baby laxative part.
Oh, yeah. There's the baby laxative scene and then this.
I found that uninteresting and not necessary at all. I'd prefer it to actually just be cocaine and not baby laxative.
Bobby saying the words, "I killed a guy for baby laxative," though,
makes it all worth it.
Is really fucking funny.
He didn't kill a guy for laxative. The guy pulled a gun on him. The guy was a corrupt cop.
He killed a guy for baby
He did still kill a guy
laxative.
and got away with it.
This is another thing that would have worked really well in like a 45-minute episode on its own, because I love the scene setting. I love Major Briggs just reading from the Book of Revelation to his wife. But it's kind of... because Bobby is a buffoon, and it's kind of funny to see him just messing things up so badly. But you're thinking about it, and it's like he literally killed a guy, and he did it for no good reason. I mean, he did pull a gun on him, but he thought he was killing him and he got cocaine. He got something out of it, but it was all for nothing. And thinking, like, Bobby is going to carry this with him the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Horrifying.
Also, I don't know. Briggs told him everything would be all right.
And he believes that, I'm sure. I remember thinking in the original run of the show when Coop tastes what he thinks is Coke and says, "Oh, it's baby laxatives." And I was like, how the fuck does he know it's baby laxatives? So I asked Bobby the same question. Why do you know what baby laxatives taste like?
That is a good question.
Not the first time he's been given cut Coke or fake Coke.
I guess that is the answer, but also how are we learning that it's baby laxatives specifically?
How does he know that it's for babies?
Yeah. There's a lot of questions here that I need answers. The next scene is Leland seeing Laura sneaking outside.
I found this very spooky and scary, and I liked it. And I thought it could have. This was the one big one that I was like, you know what? I think they could have kept this, and I might have liked it.
I mean, realistically, we know that he must have followed her, but the way this is shot, like her in the shadows, it seems like he's making eye contact with her as she's hiding. Mm-hmm. And now he's like, all right, I mean, this is it. And James, like, kind of a fool, pulls up on his loud-ass motorcycle right outside of the house right after Leland walks in, and Laura runs off. But it's like, I don't know, it just makes explicit like how Leland knows that she's leaving and follows them. And I think I do think this would have been a good inclusion in the final cut of the film.
And it's not like it would have taken up a lot of time either. Like, it's such a quick scene that justifies how he knew to leave and find her.
Very scary and adds to the scariness of Leland throughout the film. Mm-hmm. I think it like builds on it even more. His stature,
his walk up to the house is insane. It's like he's got the hunter eyes.
And it makes you wonder how much of it's Bob, how much of it's Leland. Is it both? Like, and is he ignoring on purpose? There's a lot of fun detail in this and a lot of ways to interpret. So, yeah, I think add this one. This is the first one where I'm like, yeah, definitely add this. But.
Yes. The next scene is the log lady hearing her scream.
I also wanted this one added because I feel like we knew from the show that she had heard or seen something. Mm-hmm. So the log lady hears Laura scream when everything's happening. The log lady
kind of knows all secretly.
Well, she's talking to the wood.
So I would have been totally fine with this remaining, and I think it would have been fitting, especially because we do see a scene with the log lady and Laura earlier in the film. So it would have been like a nice callback to keep this scene.
And how upset she looks. This is the most scared we've seen Margaret look. Yeah. And I really like that because she's been pretty unshakable throughout the show. And so it kind of hit even harder for me. And it also lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Put it in the film.
I agree. Okay. The next scene, this is one I have feelings about.
I'll let you talk first then.
Some months later, and it's Annie being wheeled in.
To the hospital.
Yes. And then we shoot to Cooper saying, "Where's the ring?" The arm saying, "Someone else has it now." And he's like, Annie, where am I? And how can I leave? And then the arm says, "You are here. There is no place to go but home." But then we boop back over to Annie, who has the ring on her finger. and says, the good Dale's in the lodge and he can't leave, write it in your diary.
Which we saw in the film.
To the nurse.
To the nurse, she says it. But it's also the same shot that she says to Laura. So there's like some semblance of, not time travel, but speaking through time happening here.
Yes. And then the nurse takes the ring and puts it on her own finger, which I don't know. But
before you tell your thoughts, I said I'd let you talk first. I just realized there's a Wizard of Oz reference here after you read it. There's no place to go but home. There's no place like home.
Lynch loves a Wizard
of Oz. He loves Wizard of Oz.
So...
And I'm not being a weirdo. We know that Lynch loves the Wizard of Oz, and that's like what he's used to influence a lot of film. So
well,
just
the heart
notice
is
that.
the Wizard of Oz.
Yes. But go ahead, say what you're going to say.
I really, really like this scene. I found it really unsettling. And I think a lot of this is coming from... I just watched the last episode of the original run. And I asked the question, like, is Annie really okay?
Yeah.
And...
They made a song about that.
They did.
Good bit. Smooth criminal joke. Got him.
You're so funny. And for watching this, I would say 1, no. She doesn't seem mentally okay. So, Truman, you liar. But also, I think that is a really, really cool moment and play with time that I understand why this isn't in the film, but I would have enjoyed it being there. And that, I think, is bias. I don't think it really needs to be there, but because I was really intrigued by that moment in the film anyway, I would have really liked it.
I like when the film acts as a sequel to the show, since that's what I think people wanted, and I think this is a harmless way to do it. I think what we got with Cooper in the lodge is enough of it and leaves us intrigued, but like, again, it's nice to see this, and I can have this as my own personal headcanon. You know?
It's interesting to think, because I loved the scene. I think it would have been nice to include, but then I wonder where do you put this in the final cut of the film?
That's how I feel about the next one, too.
Oh.
And it's like we already got it basically with her showing up in Laura's bed. We know there's some sense of like speaking through time.
Yeah, but I also like that is the Caroline actress, and then this is actually the Annie actress. So part of me, when
in the movie it's the Annie actress. She's just wearing the Caroline clothes.
It does. Oh,
it's Heather Graham.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, for me in the face, it didn't look.
Yeah, that was Heather Graham.
Never
She's
mind.
covered in blood. Yeah.
Never mind, ignore that. Well, the next scene, it's not that I think it needs to be in the movie, and I don't think it should be, but I also would question where the fuck you put it, as Jason said. And that's the scene where Cooper smashes his head in the mirror. Well, Bob Dale. And we get resolution of that because in the episode, when we're talking about 22, I literally said, what the fuck does Truman do right after this scene happens? And so I think it's really funny that I get my kind of answer and it's unsatisfying, so I'm glad it's not there. But yeah.
Here's what I want. Take that scene, not put it in Fire Walk with Me, put it at the actual end of the show, because but I haven't brushed my teeth yet, cut to black, is so great.
I do not agree. I think the actual ending
is fine.
Is better. I think the ominous ending of bashing your face into a mirror and then laughing at.
But then he fakes. It's so ominous because he's like, "Oh, they're coming. I have to fake like I fell down." Mm-hmm. I love it. And then gets up. You're going back to bed, but I haven't brushed my teeth yet. I was like chilling. I'd never seen that before, and I really enjoyed it. But
I mean, it shows that something is seriously off with Coop at that point, but we see that when he smashes his face into the mirror.
Yeah, we already know that.
Sees Bob in the
and
reflection.
when she says the good Dale is trapped in the lodge, and I just enjoyed seeing the scene like recut and remade for the movie to be like the sequel. But it's another thing. Where do you put it? We have such a perfect, poignant ending with Coop and Laura in the lodge as her angel returns and she cries. Like that is the happiest ending this show could give us at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I agree.
I kind of like that. Like, let's not go back and feel sick to our stomachs again.
Yeah,
like, let's have this happy moment of them together in the red room or the lodge.
I agree.
And that was the last one.
Yes.
And then we get a shot of cream corn, garbanzino, garbanzonia, garbonzia.
Yeah, garbanzo beans.
We all said 3 different words, and I'm pretty sure neither one of them.
No, I wrote
We have
how
to say
I thought
backwards.
it was said. I wrote down Garbonzia.
Garbonzia.
That's what it
Pain
came
and
up.
sorrow.
That was how I wrote it, how it was spelled in the subtitles. So
Okay.
I think maybe I'm the closest.
So I think our overall verdict is it makes sense that these scenes were cut. And there are some
yeah.
that we like. Which is funny because I had never seen this, and I feel like so many people, like you even told me, like, you gotta watch the missing pieces. And I was like, yeah, it's good.
I don't think I
don't
needed
need
to.
it.
I'm good.
Whoa, that's your hot take.
Uh-oh.
Hot take. My hot take is that anybody that is like, oh, you gotta watch my 4-hour fan edit with all of this together is out of their mind. Sorry, Cameron.
Oh my god.
I know you offered.
Can't say
That's
that.
crazy. Why? You have such a perfect film, and then you can watch these scenes separate. It is just a much inferior film if you have a 4-hour cut of it. Sorry. I mean,
I agree with you.
You're not out of your mind. You can do what you want. Live your truth. But I'm living my truth by saying that's insane.
Sure. Jason, do you have a hot take?
Not really. I mean, I love them. I love the world. Love the stories. I'll say that because this is only the second time that I've watched them, it added less to the overall lore than I've remembered it adding.
I expected much more based on the way people talk about it.
Yeah.
It's mostly the Philip Jeffries scene, to be honest.
I really thought I think that's why I'm kind of so like, meh, I didn't need to watch it. It's because I expected it to add more than it does.
Well, that's good. That means we got a good
like
movie and that we didn't need much more to make the return make more sense than it doesn't.
Okay.
Is that a good way to put that?
Well,
It makes sense to me if you're enlightened.
Yeah. So we all shared our cherry pie moment. For Matt and I, it was Pete talking about 2x4s. And for Jason, it was Big Ed and Norma and the breathalyzer.
Yeah.
I also had Doc Hayward and Laura as one of my... Maybe that's an in-between, but...
Do you guys have any somewhere in betweens? That would be yours.
Yeah, that'd be my in-between.
In between. That's a tough one. It might be... No, Bobby and Lara in Bobby's basement.
Yo,
In between. Yeah.
that's my in-between. Specifically, I killed a guy for baby laxatives because it's so funny, but it's also so sad and so fucked up, and he's going to live with this trauma forever. So, like, obviously that's very sad and black logic, but the statement itself, I killed a guy for baby laxatives, and the fact that Bobby knows what baby laxatives taste like is a perfect in-between for me. And then my other somewhere in between is Laura and Donna talking about who is a muffin.
I liked that. And Laura turning around crying, going, Donna, you're right, I am the muffin.
Yes.
Fade to black.
Yes. Black Lodge moments.
I said mine. It was anything with Leland, anything with the arm, and anything with Dr. Jacoby.
Yep, I said every time Leland is on my screen, and then Jacoby saying, Laura, send me a kiss.
I'm going to throw up.
As I want to taste through your mouth.
Yes.
And also the final Leland walking up to the house while Lara hides in the shadows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Okay. Anything else? We normally would do some notes for Diane, but I don't think you need to add any based on this, considering it's not canon. Or is it?
I guess, I mean, like, my notes for Diane would be what we talked about with the electricity stuff. Like, how is that relevant?
You know what? Throw electricity in there. Next to Al's question mark, do electricity question mark.
And my other one is, who's Judy?
Keep that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
great question.
Yep.
Aren't we all asking that question? You might have a Judy in your life.
Yep.
Miss Judy. We're not going to talk about her, though.
Not now.
We're not going to talk about her,
Like I said, we
ever.
weren't going to talk about
We're not going to talk about her, Hannah.
Why are you talking about her?
That's what we're not going to do.
You're breaking the first rule of Fight Club.
Yeah.
I like how my notes for Diane, I have 3 words. Who's Judy? Question mark. And then electricity? Question mark.
Al's question mark.
Nailed it.
They didn't bring up any
Crushed
Al's.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
what the hell?
Well, I would say that's probably it then, right? We're not going to rate this thing. We told you what we thought. It was fun to discuss and digest and
But
investigate.
none of it needed to be there.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's not.
We might be in the minority in that belief, but we'll see.
I mean,
Come
like
at us.
like we said, there are a few scenes that are really short that I would have enjoyed being there, but nothing needed to be there, and therefore it wasn't. I trust in
Trust the process.
my king, David Keith Lynch.
I knew you were going to use his middle name because I was going to cut you off if you didn't.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I'm going to.
is he a knight also? Is it Sir?
I don't think he's so.
No, he's not
It
a Sir.
should be.
He is an Eagle Scout.
Honorary.
He is an Eagle Scout. So am I.
Oh my god.
We found that out recently. He said in his like bio it was that he was just gonna do it so he could quit and put it behind him, and then he became an Eagle Scout.
Oh my god.
That used to be, he had like a 2-line biography on the top of his Twitter and said, born Missoula, Montana, 1946, Eagle Scout. That was it.
Incredible.
I love this man. I also read, according to
him.
Wikipedia, that he was popular in high school, and I was like, you know what? I would think like maybe he was a little weird, but no, he was just
so
super
silly.
funny and probably very personable. So like, why would anybody dislike him? You know?
That's so
He's
silly.
very clearly never been like a douchebag artist, in my opinion.
No.
He's like the opposite of what you would expect for an artist. He like, remember how he had that whole thing about how you don't need to suffer to create good art and how it's like bullshit that people say that. And he was like, the only time Van Gogh was happy was probably when he was making art. like that was why he made art. It made him happy. And I was like, you're so smart, King. Like, why is everyone so dumb about this?
He's just a sweet little silly Billy.
Yeah.
Aquarius.
Rest in peace. We love him.
There's a line that sticks out to me in Kyle MacLachlan's retrospective.
You mean
after he
Kale?
passed. Yeah. But he said the first time we met him, he described it as that Great Plains hunk of a voice.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There is and I'm getting very off topic. There's an amazing part of The Return from the behind the scenes that Jason's probably seen, where David Lynch is trying to get Sheryl Lee to slap him. She's like, come on, slap me. And she's like, I don't want to. He's like, oh, you're so sweet. And out of nowhere, Kyle's like, I'll do it. And it's so funny. Like he's like hidden behind.
Yeah.
And so I love him. I love all their relationships. So it just made me think about the honk. That's funny. So, okay. Well, I think that about wraps it up. So next week, we had to make everyone wait 2 weeks instead of 25 years. So we'll be covering The Return, Part 1, a limited event series. Sound good? Does that work for you? You're just looking at me. All right. So we're happy to start it. So for everyone out there, we will see you next week with a fresh cup of coffee.
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast from Horror Hour with the Hannas. If you liked the episode, please make sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. If you'd like to call into the show, call us at 215-821-9584. You can find us on the socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast on Instagram or at our original account at Horror Hour Hannas on TikTok. Come back soon for more coop, coffee, and cream corn.